There's a tweet from Bernie that I think is interesting because a lot of people do this.
Bernie Mac?
Bernie Sanders. A lot of people do this when arguing, and I think it just keeps polarization worse. So what he does in this, I argue, in this tweet is strawman the other side by not giving the best argument, even though his point is completely reasonable. But it's just like, this isn't the way to do it. So he says, 400 richest Americans' wealth in 1991, 288 billion. 400 richest Americans' wealth in 2021, which is, I guess, 30 years later, 3.2 trillion. So it went up a lot. Okay. Tipped minimum wage in 1991, $2.13 an hour. Tipped minimum wage in 2021, $2.13 an hour. So one thing that he does is he switches from wealth to wage. And if you looked at the richest Americans' wages in 1991 and 2021, they might have gone down because they don't earn in wages. So like what you would want to compare is the wealth of people, like even just not comparing evenly. Now, I think that there's a cut that's going to give him the point that he's trying to make, which is that the richest people are getting rich really, really fast and the poorest people are not. But like, why would you say wages in one and net worth in another? That seems so disingenuous. You know what I mean? Because if you did wages for both of them, you wouldn't have a tweet. It would be completely uninteresting.
Honestly, you probably just do net worth for both of them because my guess is net worth is down since debt is up. So
it might be.
You could probably just do net worth to net worth and show that minimum wage workers at least weren't dying of debt back then. And so it's like, it used to be $1,000 on average and now it's negative 20 grand. You could actually make a better point maybe by making it apples to apples.
Yeah. And I mean, again, so it's it's a tweet, it's a product of the...
I also don't think Bernie does his own tweets.
Sure.
That's the other thing. Someone was like, Bernie, how could you tweet this?
It's like Bernie didn't do
Bernie
this.
didn't tweet this, dude. An intern tweeted this.
Yeah. It's
Bernie has no idea what his Twitter says.
I guess this is just so much of the debate, when we talk about the wage gap. You just get like one number that is completely misunderstood and out of context. I guess the problem is that it's not just that the platforms are built for whatever 180 or 240 characters. It's that the human brain is built for 240 characters. So the platforms that cater to that are going to be the ones that take off, and the memes that people share and find interesting are going to be instantly comprehensible. And the world is actually incredibly complex and can't easily be tweeted.
Sure. Well, we were talking about this the other day. I won't name them, but we were talking about political YouTubers, and the people that get the most famous are not the people with the most nuanced point that go on and have the arguments in good faith with the smartest person they can find from the other side. Mm-hmm. It's people who, if you already agree with what they believe, they say it in a way that makes you feel smart and like you're on the right side. Yeah. So they find unintelligent people on the other side and then crush them so that you feel validated in your belief. And they largely just say what you think all the time without ever trying to, in good faith, give the best argument for the other side, and sometimes changing their mind. Being a conservative or a liberal YouTube face who swings to the other side's position in an argument because it's convincing. Like, those are not the people, they're out there. They're not the people with millions of subscribers. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, it's just not how you get a tweet to go viral or how you build an audience by having embraced the full complexity of an issue, trying to appear to understand both sides, and then making your opinion based on what makes the most sense for each issue without going down the same party for all of your opinions. It's just like, no, you're going to get crushed by the sensationalist guy who's destroying the other side. Like, just what people want is they just want to confirm that they're right and they're smart and their side is right and the other side is stupid.
Yeah, I think part of what creates that, I think one of the Weinsteins talks about like audience capture, where like you lean a little bit to one side and then your audience becomes predominantly that, and you get applause for half-baked, not fully buttoned up arguments that confirm a belief. But when you go to the other side, if you're not like completely,
even if you are completely dialed in and you have all the stats and it's 100% compelling to a neutral audience, but your audience doesn't believe it, like, no, you suck.
You lose money. So yeah, it's that the very structure of things seems to lead to half-baked ideas of people representing ideas that the other side doesn't have, and then knocking them down as if they were right.
Yeah, that's the nature of what gets attention.
Yeah. Well, I want to be famous, so.
Hey, At least we have a beautiful, nuanced audience that only sometimes turns on us.
And I'm sure that we've gotten things wrong too, and have fallen victim to all of this stuff. I have a handful of other things.
This isn't something that we've gotten wrong, but it is something I want to address about things that we have been proponents of. Because we've gone on here and talked about how psychedelics are helpful for the right people in the right circumstances, how video games can be good in moderation, how exercise is good for you. And I might do a video for Charisma on Command about video game addiction. And it highlighted to me that almost everything that's good for you, if done incorrectly or too much, becomes bad for you. Like, we know someone who was addicted to working out and became very unhealthy, actually, weirdly enough, because of their diet and exercise habits. Mm-hmm. And video game addiction, while I'm researching this, sometimes you just come across these people who I don't know any personally who had to drop out of college because they were so addicted to playing video games, or got fired because they were so addicted to playing video games. And so we'll come on here and be like, oh, League of Legends is so fun. And it is, unless it ruins your life. And psychedelics, if you take the right safe medicine in a safe space and you have integration set up for afterwards, can be amazingly life-changing, but also can really wreck you if you get a bad substance or a bad environment or whatever it is, have no integration afterwards. And so I don't really have a takeaway, but it just made me realize, like, oh yeah, this stuff.
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.